The music in the grand ballroom was too loud for a place filled with so much loneliness. Crystal chandeliers glittered like stars, but beneath their glow, a little girl sat alone in a wheelchair near the wall, her small hands folded in her lap, eyes fixed on the floor as if she had learned long ago not to hope for more. Ethan Cole noticed her because he knew that look. He was pushing a mop across the polished marble floor, wearing a faded janitor's uniform that smelled faintly of soap and lemon cleaner. To everyone else, he was invisible, just another worker hired to clean up after the city's wealthiest donors finished congratulating themselves. But Ethan had spent 7 years learning how to read quiet pain. He saw it every morning in the mirror. He saw it every night in his son's eyes when Noah pretended not to miss the mother who never came home. Across the room, laughter rose and fell like waves. Well-dressed guests danced in pairs, their smiles polished and effortless. But the girl in the wheelchair wasn't part of their world. She looked about 12, her legs still, her shoulders stiff, as though she'd practiced being small. A delicate silver dress hung on her frame, beautiful but heavy with the weight of expectations she couldn't meet. Ethan's heart tightened. He remembered the school dances Noah never wanted to attend because other kids whispered about his second-hand clothes. He remembered how it felt to be judged before you even spoke. And without fully thinking it through, Ethan parked his cleaning cart by the wall and walked toward her. "Hi," he said gently, crouching to her eye level. "I'm Ethan." The girl blinked, startled. "I'm Lily," she replied, her voice soft, cautious. "That's a nice dress," Ethan said, meaning it. "You look like you belong on the dance floor." Lily glanced toward the crowd, then quickly away. "I can't dance," she said, as if it were a rule carved into stone. Ethan smiled, not the kind meant to fix things, but the kind that simply offered warmth. "You'd be surprised how many ways there are to dance." He hesitated only a second before extending his hand. "Would you like to try? Just for a song?" Lily stared at his hand, fear and longing fighting in her eyes. Around them, the music swelled. No one else noticed. Or so Ethan thought. From the balcony above, Victoria Hart watched everything. She stood perfectly still, dressed in an elegant black gown that probably cost more than Ethan's monthly salary. As CEO of Hart Industries and one of the richest women in the city, she was used to people watching her. What she wasn't used to was watching her own daughter being seen by someone else. Victoria had built empires, negotiated billion-dollar deals, and survived rooms full of predators without flinching. But raising Lily alone after the accident, after the doctor said her daughter might never walk again, had broken her in ways no boardroom battle ever could. She had thrown money at the problem, hoping the best schools, the best doctors, the best therapists would somehow protect Lily from heartbreak. Yet here Lily was. Alone. Again. Victoria's jaw tightened as she saw the janitor approach. Her first instinct was irritation. This wasn't his place. This wasn't appropriate. But then Lily looked up at him, and something changed. For the first time that evening, her daughter smiled. Down below, Lily slowly placed her hand in Ethan's. It trembled, but it was real. Ethan didn't try to lift her. He didn't make a show of it. Instead, he gently wheeled her chair onto the edge of the dance floor, swaying slightly to the music, letting her follow the rhythm. He moved his shoulders, tapped his foot, and soon Lily began to move her arms, laughing quietly as the melody wrapped around them. People started to stare. Whispers spread. Some faces held curiosity. Others, judgment. What is he doing? Isn't that inappropriate? He's just a janitor. Ethan felt the weight of their eyes, but he didn't stop. He remembered every time he had wanted someone to stand up for him or his son and no one had. He wasn't about to walk away now. Lily's laughter grew louder, freer. "I've never danced before," she said. "Well," Ethan replied, smiling, "you're doing great." From above, Victoria's breath caught in her throat. She saw something she hadn't seen in years, not pity, not obligation, not forced kindness, but simple, human respect. This man didn't see a wheelchair. He saw a girl who wanted to feel the music. But then the music stopped. A heavy silence fell over the ballroom. The host stepped forward, microphone in hand, eyes darting nervously between Ethan and the crowd. "Sir," he said stiffly, "this is a private event. Staff are not permitted on the dance floor." Ethan froze. His face burned. He looked down at Lily, whose smile faltered. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't mean to cause trouble." Lily's hands clenched in her lap. "Please don't go," she whispered. Ethan straightened, heart pounding. Years of being overlooked, judged, dismissed pressed against his chest. "I was just dancing," he said. "With her permission." The host opened his mouth to respond, but Victoria's voice cut through the room like thunder. "That's enough." All eyes turned upward as she descended the stairs, each step deliberate. The room fell silent as recognition spread. Victoria Hart. Billionaire. Powerhouse. Host of the evening. She stopped in front of Ethan, studying him closely. He braced himself for humiliation, for security to be called, for another lesson in knowing his place. Instead, Victoria turned to Lily. "Did you enjoy the dance?" she asked softly. Lily nodded, tears shining in her eyes. "He asked me like I mattered." Something inside Victoria cracked. She turned back to Ethan. "Thank you," she said, her voice steady but emotional. "For seeing my daughter." Ethan swallowed. I know what it feels like to be left out." Victoria looked at him for a long moment, then did something no one expected. She extended her hand. "My name is Victoria Hart," she said. "And I'd like you to stay." The music started again, slowly at first, then stronger. Victoria gestured toward the floor. "May I?" Lily's eyes widened. "Mom." Victoria smiled at her daughter, really smiled. "Yes, Lily. Let's dance." And so they did. The room transformed. What had been a cold display of wealth became something warmer, more human. Guests joined in, clapping, smiling, some wiping tears. The whispers changed tone, not mockery now, but admiration. Later that night, Victoria found Ethan near his cleaning cart, preparing to leave. "You have a son," she said, not as a question. Ethan nodded. "Noah. He's 8. "I'd like to offer you a job," Victoria said. "Not as a janitor. As a facilities coordinator, with proper pay, benefits, and hours that let you be home with your child." Ethan stared at her, stunned. "Why?" "Because character matters," she replied. "And because my daughter needs to grow up in a world where kindness is rewarded, not punished." Months later, Lily attended another event, this time confident, smiling, surrounded by friends. Ethan sat in the audience with Noah, who waved proudly. The music played, and Lily danced again, not with her feet, but with her heart. And everyone finally understood something simple and powerful. You don't need wealth to change a life. You just need the courage to see someone and invite them to dance.